Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Fitfully Yours. This video is actually a recording of a live session which I had taken with Daksh Jindal on Instagram. It is a 45-minute live session, but every minute of it is filled with learnings. The topic was how to develop a positive mindset in your professional and personal life. You can access this entire live session on this YouTube channel, and you can also access it on my Instagram IGTV. I have also attached particular links to particular subtopics down below in the description box, so you can check it out if you want to go and skip to a particular part of the video. But trust me, if you watch the entire video, then you will definitely take away some learnings out of it. Also, if you like this video, then do not forget to follow me on Instagram. My handle is @Dr. Khushboo Gadda, and also follow Daksh. His handle is @EAR Daksh. So let's start with the live session. Okay, so first let me start explaining why I have chosen this topic about positive mindset hacks. So basically, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was treating a patient. The patient is actually a patient of stroke. So she has one half of her body which is paralyzed. So I have been seeing her for almost 4 to 5 months now, regularly. From the start up to now, these 3 or 4 months journey, अगर आप देखोगे उसको day 1 to day whatever 3 or 4 months pass, there are a lot of changes which have come inside her. I never thought it would be possible at her age and her physical this thing. So I never thought that it would be possible. But the thing is that when I was talking to her while doing the exercises, whenever she was not able to do a certain kind of movement, she would get so frustrated, and she was like, I'm not able to do this. I'm not able to. I can't do anything. So then I was just thinking that this 1 hour of me giving her physiotherapy and physical exercises, and the rest 23 hours she spends inside her own mind with herself, and she's only giving herself negative reinforcements. So 1 hour of positive reinforcement, would it really benefit her so much if she is giving herself more of negative reinforcements for 20 hours in a day? So this is the reason why I chose this topic to do with you. So I came across your profile a few months ago, 2 months ago, I think I came across your profile, and I really like the way that you make your posts and make your content, and a lot of thoughts match. So this is the reason why I wanted to do this live with you. So let's move on to my first question. Can you give 3 mind hacks which someone can use to instantly switch from a negative mode to a positive mode?
Okay, so I can give you a simple answer, which will be like instant positivity will give you, but it won't go to the core of the problem. So with this Q&A, I want to go to the core of that problem. The core of that problem is that we think the universe revolves around us. It is our lack of perception that makes us too negative or too positive. So if you are thinking very negative about something, don't go and chase positivity. Yeah. So my funda is that don't strive for positivity, strive for enhanced perception. So I'll tell you what enhanced perception is. For example, Shah Rukh Khan, you know Shah Rukh Khan, right? He's one of the biggest celebrities on earth. अभी मैंने उसका interview देखा with David Letterman. 3.5 billion people love him. But he has a house in a specific area in Mumbai जहाँ से पूरा sea दिखता है. The whole sea is visible. And you know why he bought the house at a specific place? Because he wanted to make himself realize that how insignificant he is in this entire world. Because if he doesn't do that, all the positivity which he has from stardom will get into his mind. Same with Sushant Singh Rajput. He was one of the finest actors. He had a telescope in his house. Okay. And before starting his day, he used to gaze into the sky, watch the stars, watch the planets to make himself feel that he was insignificant. He was on this planet just to do his karma. Okay. He was not here for the results, for negatives or the positives. Similarly, whenever I release my YouTube video, yeah, I get anxiety, a little bit of anxiety, how this video gonna perform or anything. So what I do is I instantly walk out of my house and I go to a park nearby, and that park is massive, and I just walk around. And it just makes me realize that no matter what happens to that video, I gave my best. Okay. I am insignificant in this world. I still need this tree for my oxygen. I still need the book in my hand to feed my brain. Okay. So if the video gets a million views tomorrow, I will still be insignificant. If the video gets zero views tomorrow, I'll still be insignificant. So we should never strive for positivity. We should strive for insignificance, the higher perception. And to get higher perception, we need to control the media which we consume. So basically what happens is हम एक environment में रहते हैं, we live in a certain environment, and then we watch movies and dramas according to that certain environment. So those emotions and those scenarios which happen in our real life, they keep getting enforced in our brain. This means positive. That girl said yes to that guy in that movie, and that guy was happy, and that is a positive thing if a girl says yes to you. And similarly, we build up negative scenarios as well according to those dramas and movies which we watch. But now, if you change this completely, and if you don't watch anything about humans, and if you watch about animals, yeah, this gives you a higher perception about the world, how the world works. So, for example, if we come to dating, okay, I get rejected by a girl. Now, I just know that कि मैंने तो movie में देखा था, if you get rejected by a girl, you're worthless, you're nothing. But then suddenly I realized I watched this documentary in which just to impress a female parrot, a lot of male parrots come in line and they dance one by one to impress that female parrot. And only one male parrot gets it. And I think to myself, at least I didn't have to dance. Huh? So it just pushes everything out because it makes you feel like there is no positive, there is no negative. This is just life. Yeah. Similarly, there's this bird. Okay, there's this bird which can only sense her kids if the kid is in the nest. Okay, if the kid is in the nest, but if the air comes and if the kid falls down the nest and the kid is just below the nest and the bird comes back and sits on her nest, she won't recognize that kid and she would abandon that kid. Now, do you see what is right, what is wrong? Will you call that bird negative or will you call that bird positive? It's just our perception about the world, okay? So we need to have a higher perception. And for having a higher perception, I can give you some tips. Watch documentaries on animals, okay? You will see life is so much more than the life which we just humans live. Okay? Watch something about space. You will see how insignificant this planet is in this whole solar system. Okay? And religious songs, religious music every morning. Okay, I'm not a religious guy, but religious music has that certain aura that it doesn't make you feel positive, it doesn't make you feel negative. It just makes you feel very grateful about life, and it just makes you feel like a small part of something really, really big. So that would be my tip to get rid of any negative thoughts or any positive thoughts. Don't strive for negative or positive, strive for higher perception. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, this certainly gave me a new perspective to the whole thing. And one more thing, like I was reading the book The Secret, and in that also it's given that like whenever you are having negative thoughts, do something which would instantly let you realize that those negative thoughts are very insignificant. Try to do something which would make you happy. Make a list of things which would make you happy. So definitely this, I think this really helps, whatever you said.
Yeah, it's like negative thoughts and positive thoughts are like endless well. जिसमें तुम गिरते जा रहे हो, there is no end to it. Okay, negative thoughts में तुम गिरते जा रहे हो, you will end up with depression, anxiety and everything. ऐसे तुम positive thoughts में गिरते जा रहे हो, you will end up with a massive self ego and massive overconfidence. So avoid both wells and achieve higher perception, as I said. So yeah, secret says it perfectly. Yeah. Yeah, just make yourself feel insignificant. You are just a tiny part in this massive world.
And I also want to say one thing that this thing that you have said is not going to come within one day. You will have to
No.
keep practicing every single
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
It
yeah,
can also happen that you might revert to your old habits time and again, but you just need to keep practicing this. Remind yourself that I don't have to get into these thoughts.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Coming to my next question. When it came to The Secret, there was one very significant thing that they mentioned in that book. Also, this book is like my top book, which I really want to recommend to everyone. It really changed my life. So, in this book, it was written that whenever you send out a thought to the universe, whether it is positive or it is negative, that thought gets recorded by the universe, and the universe will do anything in its power to make it happen. So if you are thinking a lot of positive things, then the universe will try to get that thing happen for you. And if you are in those positive things also, if one also negative, you have a doubt that okay, maybe this might not happen or it might happen. So if you have such a doubt also, then the universe will just cancel the whole thing and it will not make that thing
Hmm.
happen.
Hmm.
So, have you ever experienced such a thing?
Yeah, so basically, I've experienced both positives and negatives out of it. So, when I was a teenager, I didn't know about this power of visualization and power of attraction. And I wanted to come to UK, and I wanted this particular university I wanted to go to, okay? And to get into that university, it was quite difficult. I had to score really high marks, and I thought it's not possible. But what I did was, okay, I'll just put this university image as my screen wallpaper. And I did that, and I used to see that university every day. And during that time, there was also one thing that UK had stopped giving work visa to anyone who came to UK. So basically, if there were 50 Indian students coming to UK, out of 50, only 2 or 3 students will get jobs. The rest, all 47 students will go back. I didn't know about this at all while coming to UK. So I just knew that I went to that university's website and I saw that this person studied from this university and he got into Red Bull. Oh my God, I can do this as well. I'm going to get into this university and I'm going to get into a good company and have a good job. Okay. So that was on my mind all the time. So basically, it happened. I got the admission into that university. I came here, and everything I imagined happened. And I didn't know about the job scenario. That job scenario was so difficult in UK at that time. Now it's a bit lenient. You get visa, but at that time it was so difficult. So if I would have known about that, if I would have had all these negative information at that time, it might have created doubts in myself, and I wouldn't have taken that step. But I kept reinforcing myself with that picture of university and with that guy who got a job in Red Bull, and it worked for me. Yeah. Similarly, a negative thing happened to me, and it was in my own personal life. So I had a girlfriend 3 years back. Okay. And we went through a rough patch. So I'll just take a random name for example, Smriti. Her name was Smriti. Yeah. So we went through a rough patch, and we went through a rough patch. So Smriti had her ex-boyfriend, and who was living in Delhi, and they hadn't chatted for like 4 5 years. Yeah. So I watched this Bollywood movie. I wasn't reading or doing anything that time. I wasn't controlling the information going into my mind. So I watched this Bollywood movie in which this guy who loves a girl so much, and then the ex-boyfriend comes back and takes the girl with him again. Okay. So that movie planted a doubt in my mind, and that doubt became a massive weed in my mind. I was dreaming about it that her ex-boyfriend came back and took her. And then in the morning, I used to question, how is it ever gonna be possible? They haven't talked for 5 years. He lives in Delhi. It's never gonna happen. And then suddenly, a month or two later, that guy was my friend as well. He calls me up and he says, I'm coming to London to do my masters, and I'll be meeting you and Smriti. And what I feared happened. So basically, we were going through a rough patch, and they both connected again, and she went with that guy. So it works in both ways. That's why I tell everyone that you need to be careful about the information which you let into your mind through movies, through books, through music, through anything. Like when someone goes through breakup, don't listen to breakup songs. That's gonna send you into an endless spiral of negativity. That is very stupid. I was like that few years back, but I realize it now. That is one of the reasons I'm doing all this. So yeah, it does work, and I've experienced both sides of it, and I'm very careful with it now. So that's why I keep feeding my mind the information which I want to see in future with myself, so that actually that comes true. So yeah.
So, whatever you said about the university, I have experienced the same thing three times. So one was after my school when we had to choose a junior college. Then second was when I was going for my bachelor's college, and third was my postgraduate college. So I will tell the example of my postgraduate college. So when I finished my bachelor's, so in Maharashtra there are very few seats, okay, for
Hmm.
neurophysiotherapy,
Hmm.
very few seats. So from the start only, I was told by my teachers that you will not get into KM. KM is like the topmost government college in Mumbai, and it is the only college which has neurophysiotherapy. So from the start, my teachers were telling me that you will not get into KM, you will not get. And then after a certain time, I started believing that. But then after I took a 1 year gap in between, in that I did meditation, I read good books. All of that really helped me, and I again started believing myself that yes, I will get into that college. And what used to happen was I had a patient near that area of that university. So whenever I used to go to see my patient, I used to see that college. I used to pass by that college, and I used to imagine myself going there, studying there, treating patients over there, adding that tag of KM in my resume. I used to visualize all of those things. And finally, all of this came true. I stood third all over Maharashtra, and I was the first student to be admitted to that college in neurophysiotherapy. So all of that really worked out for me, and that's the thing that it
I
really
think
worked out.
I think you this book, The Secret, which you're talking about, it's really really good, and I would suggest all of the viewers to go and read this book because what we see, what we hear, and what we believe actually comes true. Your actions
Yeah.
are not controlled by you. Your actions are controlled by your imaginations, and people don't know that. People think our actions are controlled by us, but if you see in long term, your actions, all your actions are controlled by your imaginations. So this is a brilliant example how you can use this power to your own benefit. And if you're not careful with it, how it can create ruckus in your life as well. Thank you for that question. It was really, really important.
Yeah, and so let's move on to the next question. So what you said about feeding yourself with that information and everything. So my next question is a few weeks ago I was seeing this live chat between Jay Shetty and Gaur Gopal Das ji, and probably Jay Shetty was launching his new book. So that time they talked about false positivity. So basically, whenever an individual is facing a problem, that
Hmm.
time he's obviously in that thought. He is suffering through something, and in that, if somebody tells them, "कि चल छोड़, just try to be positive. Why are you thinking about this? Just try to be positive." But what if that person? You never know what that person is going through. So what if
Hmm.
that person does not want to think
Hmm.
positively and
Hmm.
he can't help it?
Hmm.
So what do you say about that?
See, I think having self doubts and negative thoughts is very normal. Even I have that. What I have seen is that when you are going through this scenario, the best way to get out of is to take action. Any action. Like yesterday, last night, I was thinking about this live chat and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be my first live chat. And I was a little scared. I took an action immediately. I started writing and I started writing a lot. Similarly, just get out of your bed and take any action because when you move your body physically, your brain comes down to the present. And this goes back to the same first question which you asked me. If you keep dwelling on that negative thought again and again, it's an endless well and it's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for the people around you. It's not going to be good for your health. So I'll tell you how these negative thoughts and your health are linked as well. So whatever we feel, our body converts, whatever we think, the words we think, our body converts those words into emotions. And those emotions trigger our glands, which releases hormones in our body. And those emotions are, so we think that our mind is just this, but our whole body is our mind. So for example, I see someone I see my mom, yeah, and suddenly a very beautiful and a loving feeling gets generated in my body. And that is coming, you can feel it in your whole body. It's not just mind. It's hot. You can feel it everywhere. Similarly, with negative emotions, when you're feeling sad, you don't feel like eating. Yeah. Or when your stomach is upset, you don't feel like working, you don't feel like making your mind work. So mind and body are the same, are two different sides of the same coin. Okay. So if you take care of your mind, you need to take care of your body as well. Yeah. And the other way around is true as well. So this is why this is where spirituality and religion and everything comes in. We most of the population is now becoming atheists because we never knew the importance of religion in our life. Okay, I'm not a religious person. I don't see religion as something I need to protect, I need to go and fight for, and I need to protect religion. I see religion as a tool in my toolbox, which is used to keep me mentally healthy, which is used to keep me physically healthy. Because even if you go running, but if you come back and if you keep pondering on stress and on all your worries, and when you're stressing, your body immune system weakens, and when you're happy, your body immune system is strong. And the most surprising thing about these emotions are that these emotions travel from person to person. So if I'm sad with you, if I'm sad, you will become sad with me as well if you're really close to me. Yeah, I have weakened my immune system, and I've made you weaken your immune system as well. Yeah. So we need to be very careful about these negative and these positive thoughts. That's why I say don't chase negativity or don't chase positivity, chase higher perception. And higher perception is through knowing the world around you, and you are not the center of this universe. So I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, you did. So one more thing. This is for ourselves, whatever we do.
Hmm.
What about if someone else who is close to us, like you said, कि
Hmm.
अगर किसी और को नेगेटिविटी लग रही है तो मुझे
Hmm.
भी वो affect होगी. So if someone else close to you is being negative about things, then what can you say to that person to tackle that thing?
Okay, so I think no one is negative or positive. So, for example, I have followers from both India and Pakistan. Okay, so now in India, we have grown up with the teachings that Pakistan is bad, that country is bad. And in the same way, my people in Pakistan have grown up with that ideology that Indians are bad. But when I was in UK, some of my closest friends were Pakistanis. They were like my brothers. Yeah. So you can't say that Pakistanis are bad people because they grew up hating India. That is how they grew up. So all the opinions that we have. So for example, I have a closest friend who doesn't support my YouTube and Instagram ambitions. Yeah. I can't get rid of him or her. Yeah. She doesn't support my ambitions. I can't get rid of him or her. So what I can do is instead of talking about YouTube and Instagram where our thoughts don't match, I'll talk to her about something else where our thoughts match, which is positive for her as well as me. If I try to enforce that thought on her that YouTube and Instagram is really good, you should change your opinion, is going to hurt both of us. Same thing with India Pakistan scenario. We don't like each other countries' politics, but we love cricket. Yeah. If me and a Pakistani guy talks about cricket, we'll bond very nicely. But if we start talking about Kashmir, we'll start hating each other instantly. So you need to know that there will be a conflict of interest with anyone you talk to. So that person is neither negative or nor positive. It is that topic which you are discussing. That person might have a negative opinion about that topic because of the way they grew up, because of the way they saw the life around them. Yeah. So that doesn't mean that you need to see the life the same way they did because you grew up differently. So this is how I see, this is how I try to get it. The first thing would be to get rid of that negative person from your life if possible. But most of the time, it's the closest people to us who are negative about things. And you can't get away with them. It's your social responsibility and it's your love towards them. So for that, you need to find out common topics which you both can agree on and talk on common topics, talk on positive stuff, and maybe find different people. Like if I want to share my YouTube and Instagram ambitions, I won't share it with that person who is negative about it. I'll try to share it with some other friend of mine who's positive about it, who's going to support me through this. So this is how I deal with negative people. First is to get rid of them. If you can't, then change the topic.
Okay, so this was about trying to not be affected by their
Hmm.
negativity. But one more question, like how I told in the start that about my patient, that she is feeling negative about it, and I just want to help her. I want to tell her that uh, try to be positive. I'm explaining it to her that whatever negative things you are saying, it is all going to affect the positive thing that we are doing for 1 hour. We are doing those exercises, but whatever negative emotions you start feeling the rest of the time, it's all going to neutralize that positive
Hmm.
reinforcement. So
Hmm.
I want to ask you that how do I explain it to her that try to get out of that thing or try to be positive about it.
See, there is no easy answer to this because you can't be around that person 24/7. You will tell her something, it's like watching a motivational video, okay? You watch a motivational video, but you watch it for 15 minutes, you get back to your normal life, and then the life hits you again, and you get back in that circle again. So the best way to help people who are in this negative circle is to either give them a responsibility of something which you can't because she's not very close to you. It's like I would buy a pet dog for that person so that she can spend up time with a pet dog and have positive thoughts and cuddle with that pet dog and feed him and the sense of responsibility brings a lot of positivity in you because you feel like you're contributing towards something. Yeah, you can't do that. So second thing would be to help her get in touch with some mentor or some kind of a therapist so that she can be in regular touch with that person one to one regularly, because this won't go away in 1 day or 2 day or 3 days. This needs
Right.
to be something, yeah, this needs to be something she needs to be doing regularly, and this needs to be something she needs to be reminded of regularly. So you need to guide her towards that person who can mentor her, who can spend time with her every day, an hour or so, or every week, couple of hours, to keep her in that right direction and help her build those good habits and help her shift the perspective. So that can be the only responsibility you can take for now. Otherwise, I think any other thing which you say to motivate her will be very temporary. That will affect her then and there, but when she goes back, she'll be back to her own life.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
think about it. Think about it. Yeah, how you can either give her responsibility or either give her a mentor.
Right, right. So yeah, definitely. I think this works for me. I can try this thing. Fine. Like coming to the negativity of people around you and how you can shift your topics to things which you have in common with that person.
Hmm.
This is a very personal thing that you have with someone. Now, what about a work environment in which there's a lot of negativity. Like I was working at a clinic for almost a year. That is a really long time to be working at a clinic where a lot of negative environment was there, and so what used to happen was that the people used to say bad things about the boss, or vice versa. Like the boss would be shouting at us, or all those things. So all those things used to happen on a very very much a daily basis, and that really affected me for almost a year. And finally, after getting out of the clinic, I could finally breathe, and I went on a few meditation camps because of that as well. Now people don't have that kind of a luxury to do that. I had that option, so I was able to do it. People don't have that luxury के okay ये environment नहीं अच्छा लग रहा है मैं job ही छोड़ दे रहा हूँ अभी. They can't do that, right? They need to stay on that job because that is the only job that they have. So what do you suggest? What can people do in such scenarios when they have to be at that environment?
So basically, now you're talking about something very uncontrollable. Previously, we were talking about something controllable where we could change the topics and get rid of the negative people. But in this uncontrollable scenario, I'll talk to you about this philosophy from Sadhguru. So whatever you're seeing in front of you right now, where is that actual image? The image which your brain is building, where is that actual image? Guess.
It,
You're seeing your mobile phone right now, right? Where is that image?
it's in front of me and it's in front of my eyes.
No, that image is inside your brain. Your
Hmm.
brain is creating that image using the signals from outside. So
Hmm.
everything that we see, we feel is already inside us. Okay?
Hmm.
So it's like a computer. When you type R on a computer, Does the R appear on the computer because someone from the outside put it in, or was it already there and it was triggered by the click of that button? It was triggered by the click of that button. It's the same thing with our emotions, okay? Our whole body is a computer which has a lot of emotions, which gets triggered by a lot of things. If we touch fire, we feel the heat. If we touch something cold, we feel cold. Similarly, if we hear negative words, we feel negative. If we hear positive words, we feel positive. So when you're in an uncontrollable environment, the biggest practice is to have a personal space. Personal space doesn't mean just a physical space, but a mental space and a space of time. That is 1 hour every day in the morning or 30 minutes during your work, where you are triggering positive emotions in yourself by getting those inputs which you want. You control those inputs by yourself.
Mm.
Okay, and those positive emotions will help you fight the negativity throughout the day. For example, in schools, we used to stand in the assembly lines every morning and we used to sing itni shakti hame de na data, you remember?
Mm.
But we never realized the importance of it. Every morning praying for 15-20 minutes, we never realized the importance. No one ever taught us. And the coolest part in school was to not attend the assembly. You were the cool kids if you're not going to the assembly. You're staying in the class, no one can touch you. You're the cool kids. That was the stupidest thing. So that habit somehow vanishes away from our lifestyle because we don't realize the importance of that habit of praying every day for 15-20 minutes. Your mornings are your anchors. Whatever information you feed into your mind in the mornings stay with you throughout the day. If you in the morning, if you open Instagram and see someone's story and then the music is running, dance with me, dance with me, and that music stays with you the whole day. So that's why your mornings are the anchor. So I would suggest that if you can't control the environment outside, create an environment for you every day, for at least in the morning for 30 minutes and at least during the day for 30 minutes, where you control the inputs going into your body, where you control the inputs and send positive inputs through your body through motivational videos or podcasts or anything. As I said, everything in our body is already inside us. All our emotions are already inside us. It's just different people triggering it through different things. So we need to take that control back by creating that space around us. So I have, for example, I have these three spaces in my body. When I used to go to work, okay, when I used to go to work, I don't drive, so I never bought a car. So I used to take public transport, and it was trains drive. It was a train's journey for around 40 minutes, and I used to feed my brain with books. So that gave me a really good start to the day. Then during the day, I used to keep listening to the podcasts, really good podcasts, and not just about positivity. I used to listen podcasts about moon landings, about nature, how a lady befriended an octopus and how that octopus got attached to her. That gave me a bigger perception, which I told you about, higher perceptivity. And then at the end of the day, again, I used to read something positive so that while I sleep, my brain is engaging with the information, with positive information more than negative information. So you will have to take control of your time and you need to create that time space and mental space around you, which no one interrupts during the day, at least 2 to 3 times. We were taught about this in school, but we were never taught about the importance of this stuff. So it just faded away from our life, and we used to see this as something which oldies do, not our generation. It's for oldies, praying in the morning and all that stuff. But we don't realize it how important it is. As I said, I'm not a religious person, but religion is a tool in my toolbox which keeps me mentally healthy. So this would be my suggestion, which works for me, and this is what everyone talks about as well, to create your own mental space and control the input inside it. I hope that helps.
Yeah, so now that you mentioned this thing about that 1 hour before in the morning and 1 hour later on, I realized that since the last 1.5 year, I have started keeping this habit of listening to an audiobook in the morning when I'm having breakfast, or if I'm traveling in the morning, and then evening just before sleeping, half an hour, 30 minutes, I give myself to read some self-help book or
Hmm.
something.
Hmm.
So that now, like actually, I do that because I really like reading books. But
Hmm.
now that you've mentioned this thing, I think that has helped me to not get affected by the external environment and whatever you said. So I really try to take out time to meditate, but that is not on my top priority list. So I never usually end up taking out time. But this reading books also, I think, has helped me a lot since the last 1 year. And I am just realizing that this just now when you actually spoke about it. So yeah, this I think this tip is
Yeah,
very.
yeah. It's you don't have to do difficult stuff. You don't have to read books or you don't have to meditate. People find it difficult. Just put on something positive in your brain. Just put on some positive music, positive podcast, anything. So words trigger emotions. Emotion triggers actions. So just control the words going into your brain for 30 minutes, 3 times a day. Control the words, make sure only positive words enter your brain. And try to go for higher perceptivity, as I keep saying. Try to go for, like, for example, at my workspace, if I see, some colleague going behind my back and chatting up some other colleague to office politics. So, because of higher perceptivity, I've seen this nature in animals, in chimpanzees. It makes me laugh, not angry, because I see that, oh, he's doing the same chimpanzee behavior, where I'll get more bananas for the leader and the leader will take care of me. So it brings smile on your face and makes you have, because you have that higher sense of perceptivity. You see life, you don't take life too seriously. You see life as it is. This is the nature of life. This is how life is. This higher perceptivity takes you out of that concept of positivity and negativity. It just shows you life as it is. So yeah, in that mental and time space, try to increase your perceptivity and put positive words in your brain. It's really helpful.
And also one more thing that has helped me to realize later on, when whatever you said about that colleague gossiping about you and all that, that used to happen at my clinic also. So if I'm doing something wrong to a patient, uh, my senior would go and complain about this to another senior who is more senior to that person.
Hmm.
So they would go and complain, and then that second level senior would come and scold me कि ये क्या कर रही है, ये गलत है and all
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
So that used to really affect me, and I used to be like कि ऐसे क्यों कर रहे हैं, वो directly आके मुझे बोल सकती थी ऐसे क्यों हो रहा है. But now that I think about it, I'm like, okay, मतलब she did that, so maybe she needs help. Like she is not able to really understand that she should not be doing that, and so I used to take it upon myself that I am doing something wrong. It's all with me and everything. But now I'm understanding that it's not me. It's her that is doing wrong.
Yeah.
She is doing this. She
Yeah.
is
So basically, you have changed your perspective. Previously, you were the center of the universe.
right.
You thought that the universe around it revolves around me, but now you've changed your perspective to see that there are other people and they have their own emotions, own stories, and own opinions, which gives you the liberty to feel relaxed, which gives you the liberty to feel get away from this concept of positivity and negativity. So that's a really, really good start.
Okay. So now coming on to the year end, we are doing this live session also. The year is just about to end. So like when it's been so uncertain this entire year, I think it's been very uncertain for so many people. They have lost their jobs, they have lost a steady source of income. So what do you say that what can we do to start 2021 with a positive mindset? How can they move forward?
So again, I would summarize the all the questions we have talked till now, and I would summarize it into three things that people need to do with their lives. It's like the three things which we did at school. Make your own physical, mental, and time space. Okay? So physical space, no one can enter that once your room is locked. Time space, 30 minutes, that is your time. You are doing something in it, your artistic endeavor, or anything which you are doing. And your mental space is you're feeding the right information into your brain at that time. They don't have to be at the same time. You can split it during the day, but try to, like in the morning, read something positive for 30 minutes. During the day, take 30 minutes out to increase your perception and read or listen to something which you have never listened to or never heard of. And then end the night with your own physical space, with your own room locked, writing down your thoughts, writing down what happened during the day. So try to spend more time with yourself. More time, the more time you spend with yourself, the more control you will have over your life, and you won't be pushed by your circumstances. You will be responding to life, not reacting to life. So this is what I would say, that try to find at least 3 times during the day where you spend time with yourself, and you try to increase your perception, and you try to feed your brain the right information. So just do that for next year, just 3 times a day, 30 minutes, morning, afternoon, and evening, and just increase your perception and feed the right information and see how it works for you. It'll do wonders.
Okay, I think even I'm going to start applying this from not even first Jan. I would say I will start applying this from today itself.
Yeah,
Today, before
yeah.
sleeping, definitely do this. So, finally ending this live session. Now, your username is EAR Daksh, so it is everything about reading. So, the last question has to be about reading. So, what one book which you would recommend for people to develop a positive mindset?
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So basically, this book is seen as, the rich in this book is seen as money, but don't see it as money. Think about it as mental richness, richness with health, richness with body, and just go through this book with an open mind, not with a money mind, because I'm telling you, money is not the answer. Yeah, go read this book with an open mind, especially the last chapter of this book. Let me see, what was the last chapter? It was called Outwitting the Fear, and it tells you about 6 types of fears that everyone faces in their lives. Yeah, how to outwit the 6 ghosts of fear. Chapter number 15 of this book. It's
Hmm.
really, really good. And I read this book at least 3 times a year. And it helps me, this is like my proper brainwash book, it's like my whole year is like one day, okay? So morning, afternoon, and night. So start of the year, middle of the year, and at the night, end of the year, I try to finish this book so that this information keeps circulating in my mind, and I keep myself updated with mentally and physically that what I need to do for my next year, or what I'm doing wrong in this year, which is not going along these lines in the book. So it really keeps me on track. So this would be my recommendation for anyone. And it's a very easy to read book as well. It's very easy to read, and it tells you about everything from persistence to hard work to patience to everything, to how to face failure, to everything. So I would highly recommend you guys to read this book. And I think I'm going to make a video series on this as well. I was thinking about it, that I should make a video. The thing is, I always think on making a video on this book, but I always have the doubt that will I be able to do justice to this book? So that's why I'm thinking of taking out a chapter from this book and make one video on the whole chapter instead of the whole book. And I think that way I'll be able to send out the whole message from this book, because this book is so deep, so deep. Have you read this book?
No, I haven't read this,
No, you
but I'm
haven't?
definitely
Yeah,
my.
go and read this. Really, really good.
Okay, so this is the end of the live session. These are all the questions that I wanted to ask. Uh, Actually, more and more questions are coming to my head right now, but I'm just going to end the live session right now because let me just apply whatever you have said so far,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I can
Thank you
come back.
so much, Khushboo. Thank you so much. Yeah, and no problem. And feel free to message me, and any of your followers who wants to talk to me, they can reach me on Instagram and just message me anytime, and I'll be there to help. And I enjoyed the session as well. I've talked about so many things which I haven't shared with many people. That girlfriend incident, my mom even didn't know about it. So I think she's watching it. She might be the surprise. Oh my God, this happened. Yeah. So thank you so much. So it was a very candid, very good session. And yeah, I'll be happy to do it again in future, anytime when you want to. We can talk about so many stuff, from business to lifestyle to habits to mindset. So anything, anytime, if you want to do another session, feel free to message me.
Okay, okay. Thank you
Okay?
so much for
Okay?
agreeing to this
No
also.
problem. No problem. I'll see you around then.
Yeah, 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 sure.
Okay? Okay.
Yeah,
Bye, Khushbu.
bye.